was going to talk about the market finally. I was going to talk about the market finally breaking the low, and I could be like, "Hey, look, I was saying that there was a chance it would happen." And I was like, you know what? Nah. Let's talk about improving the one and done, something that's going to bring you value right now. That was the reasoning. So, um, hopefully, I'm live. I'm live. Live. Live-ish. My video working? My voice? I'm live. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to teach you how to truly capitalize on the one and done on a high volume name. We're going to talk about all that, a little about the market, a little about how we traded our algo levels, our game plan in Forex, as well as our full stock analysis, as well as our precise daily stock levels. I am Mark Melnick, and this is the Newsbeat Show. Is it working? Weird. Okay. Might have to reset. Okay, sorry about that. That's weird. All right, the music didn't work, but my audio still works, right? All right, because we have something amazing to talk to you about today. And I want to share something really cool with you. You're going to have to get past my phenomenally gifted artistic abilities, which consist of I could draw a human being with one circle and in four lines. It's kind of amazing. It's called a stick figure. And I want to share all this with you and more. But first, I would like to say thank you to our friends over at the T3 Live Compliance Team. Kindly read this, and you must say out loud, I will not hold Mark Melnick responsible for anything shown or said here, alongside T3, as well as whatever is written here. And once you do that, only then may you hit play. If not, you must exit this video immediately. I am watching you. All right. Thank you very much for reading that. And Dave, 5 wins, 0 losses off my levels today. Nice. I did well today too, but you did better than me. In terms of the consistency ratio at least. All right. So I wanted to share something with you guys, and it's a dose of logic and it's a dose of helping you make money. So for today, what we had da 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 da. Good morning, bandits. Best Buy downgrade. I'm looking to short via the one and done. The short one, the low five, conviction level is a 4 out of the 1 to 10 scale, which is how it makes the list in the first place. And I also said also watch J&J to flush $130 hard, which is coincidental because as soon as I posted that, an institutional seller came in and started blasting the stock through 130. What a coincidence here in the Newsbeat live room. May have to watch this one closely. Could be a good early put play. And of course, that's 8:48 this morning. So I'm watching Best Buy and Johnson and Johnson. So this is what happens. I look at Best Buy, and you might argue, okay, maybe the one and done failed here. There was never an offer under 52.16. You shouldn't have actually been in Best Buy. Not the point. Let's say you entered Best Buy for a loss right over here on the one and done because it would have broke the first 1 minute low at 52.16 and you would have got stopped out at 52.45. Maybe you would have lost 30 cents or something like that on an idea like that. But if you're in the room, you would have known that I didn't take Best Buy, and I wouldn't because the options were stupid. The option I was looking at had a 17-cent bid and like $1.40 on the offer. 17 cents on the bid, $1.40 on the offer. And we're not talking, I'm not trading Berkshire and Hathaway A shares here. I'm not trading, uh, Amazon with a dollar spread on the options, which is to me acceptable somewhat. We're talking about Best Buy. So for me, no matter what, I was just like, you know what? Nah, I'm not trading Best Buy. So in the room, I told you guys I was watching Johnson and Johnson, and this was, I thought, a harder name to catch, but it was moving with volatility. Now, how did you know it was moving with volatility? Here's the 1 minute bar. You knew I was looking for a short, and I was looking for the first one and done short. Now, what happens is if you are just follow what I'm saying now very closely, because this is going to change your life forever on the one and dones. And I am moving up the consistency. I mean, if you just look at the consistency tracker, you have some people with just some phenomenal streaks going right here. Some people with 11 in a row, 13 in a row, and some people with 30 in a row. So just honestly, just absolutely insane on the consistency tracker of some of these people. And I want to show you how to get on that level. So if you're looking at Johnson and Johnson today in the pre-market, there was like, I don't know, 800, 900,000 shares by before 9:30. Johnson and Johnson pretty much had more shares traded or as many shares traded as the triple Qs, which has massive volume. Triple Qs is usually one of the top 10 names every single day in the pre-market volume. Now, when you have pre-market volume, think of it like this. There's a lot of action happening in the pre-market, right? A lot of action happening in the pre-market. What happens is the algos, and excuse me, it hurt my backs. Um, the algos, what happened was they actually look at the market. They'll actually look at the market and they'll actually shoot through the first 1 minute high and low with elevated volume. So right here you have the first 1 minute of Johnson and Johnson. Just bear with me because this is going to change your life as a trader. Just bear with me right now. Not asking for much. I'm sharing you my little tips and secrets, you know, right over here. So here's the one and done on Johnson and Johnson. First minute bar closes right here. It has to break 129.22 to break out. It has to break underneath 128.26 to break down. I told you guys I was watching puts. 1 minute bar right here opens up at 128.56, shoots through 129.16, gets to 129.79, followed by 84. So it literally shot through the one and done. And this is where the people who are part of this trade, you pretty much all made money because you are part of it. But there's more than just making money. It's easy to say making money. Yes, I made money not on this long trade. I didn't catch it long. I was looking for the short, which means the short of the first 1 minute low. So right over here, when it opened up at 129.36, I said if it breaks 129.11, I'm buying Johnson and Johnson puts for a downward move. So it breaks 129.11 and plummets to 127.76. Literally within a couple minutes, I pretty much take off the majority of my position, catch a really cool full point on my puts. Even though the stock went down $1.50, my puts moved $1, and I was very happy with the trade. But that wasn't an easy trade to catch, was it? Would you guys like right now if I showed you the mentality behind catching these trades and how to make it easier? Can I show you right now how easy it is? It was a hard name to catch if you didn't know what you were doing. It was an easy name to catch if you did know what you're doing. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to show you how to know what you're doing with a high volume name. Melnick Picasso, Microsoft Paint chart appear. Okay. So we're dealing with stock XYZ. For the arguments of this lesson, we're going to be looking for a one and done long. If you don't know what a one and done is by now, there's a video within the comment, whether you're watching on YouTube or Facebook. Just keep an eye on it. It's very easy. Okay, so let's say, for the sakes of mathematics, we're going to say, just bear with me, bear with me, bear with me. We're going to say your level is 50 bucks that you want to buy through. Your one and done high. The first break of the 1 minute bar is 50 bucks, let's say. But your stock is, your stock is like right over here. Your stock is like at 49, 50, and it goes to 49.75, then it goes to 50, and then it shoots through, right? Like that's what we're dealing with. So how do you know exactly when should you buy it? Should you buy it when the bid is at $50 or more? Should you buy it when the offer prints $50 or more? Should you try to front run it before it hits $50? What do? Is there an answer? And what I'm telling you is the answer is yes, and I'm going to describe it to you. And excuse me, I've been an absolute mess. Me and Monica right now are sending each other, healing love prayers right now, trying to feel better for the holiday party tomorrow. Trying to make it. I'm trying to make it as well. So check it out. On a high volume, just on a high volume name, ladies and gentlemen, you definitely want to buy around here or around here or around here. Why? 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 How do I define high volume? Let's just ask the question. I don't want to be vague. I don't want to be vague. Why and how do I define high volume would be some logical questions. Because as you see it here, when I actually help code algorithms, I will actually, in American algorithms, I'll actually say, look at the amount of time it took to get from point A to point B. Think about it like this. If a car is driving, you ever get those in 60 miles an hour and then a train's coming the other way? It's not like that. But if a car from point A, if every point is equidistant from each other, so point A to point B is equal from point B to point C. So if a stock gets from point A, just bear with me, I'm taking you back a little. Trust me, I'm going to make it easy. If a stock gets from point A to point B in 2 seconds, at the same rate, how long will it take to get from point B to point C? 2 seconds. C to D, 2 seconds, considering it remains at the same rate. But we know that algos tend to elevate volume after it triggers because now the robots start buying it. So in the case of this wasn't stock. I mean, this is an example of stock XYZ, but in our case, we were actually dealing with J&J, which would have been different than trading Best Buy. You were dealing with J&J. So on J&J, I would be buying here because as you saw the stock right over here, opening up at 129.36 right here on this bar. It hit actually 129.45. And you saw it go down 129.30, 129.20. It was literally like that, like real quick, right? 129.10. I was just like, hit it. I don't have to wait to see it flush through 129 to want to be in the trade. I want to be in before then because I know Johnson & Johnson is going to have a high amount of volume. And the way I know it's going to have a high amount of volume is because in the pre-market, as I said in the room, it has more volume than triple Q. So this is what I'm going to do to make your lives easier. I don't have an official rating system yet. God, I feel so queasy. Not 100% yet. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to put a rating system on the pre-market volume for the names. Best Buy had very low pre-market volume for the name. So I'm going to point that out in the future. And what it's going to look like is when I actually go ahead and tweet it out, I am actually going to like right underneath here or something, tell you how I feel about the volume. Slightly elevated, very elevated. If I use the word extremely elevated in terms of volume, that means that I am looking to front run this trade. Now, in this case, I didn't front run it. As soon as I saw 129.20 and then 129.10 on the bid, it might have printed. It probably was printing. I just hit my market order right away, and I paid 45 cents through for Johnson & Johnson. And by the time I blinked, I was up 50 cents. Literally, I was like, oh, that's nice. My P&L's up. Now, people, I'm going to see, I broadcast it the way I still broadcast it, which is complete transparent. So I could say, I'm in Johnson & Johnson puts. By the time I finish that sentence, Johnson & Johnson broke through the 129.11 trigger here, and I don't know exactly where it's going to go, right? Like I say it how it is. I hit click, I'm already talking before I blink and look at my P&L. Click, I'm in Johnson & Johnson puts, and then I confirm on a position screen. You ever hear me say, I sold 3/4? Oh, wait, no, that was actually 80% because I hit a sell button. I'm relaying the information. Then I'm like, oh, I didn't sell 75%, I sold 80%. And I'll just correct myself like that because I thrown the order and I disclose it immediately to get you the information as soon as possible. What I am saying is in extremely high volume names, that usually is not the best thing. So what I say to you guys is if it breaks 129.11, I will be in the puts and I spell it out. And if anything happens, I mean, guys, I'm in it. I'm not in it. Like I'll talk through as it happens. But before it actually breaks, I'm telling you guys right over here. If this 129.11 breaks, I'll be in Johnson and Johnson puts. Some of you guys, the majority of the room, I'm sure, is putting in short orders through that level, and we're trying to front run these algos. What I'm saying is it should be based on volume, and I don't know why I didn't emphasize the obvious. I thought logically speaking, and again, I'm trying to improve every day and I'll never stop. There'll never be a point where I'm satisfied. There'll never be a point where I'm content. And that's why you're getting so many new products that were never promised to you, like the evolutionary gathering and this and this and this and this, and calling people on the phone here, here and there, which is never promised to you and never never guaranteed to you. But we tried to go the extra. This Newsbeat show is not guaranteed to you as part of the service. It's actually just not part of the service. It's free on the internet. Other than the answering and giving algo level part, that is actually, oh my God, what did I do to my back? That is actually, of course, is part of your service. But the point being, back to the graph, is on a Johnson and Johnson, you let's pretend Johnson and Johnson was for the argument this is a long trade because I don't want to start writing different numbers on my stupid graph over here. So basically, as this stock is moving towards 50 and moving here towards this $50 level, these down arrows right here is why you want to do it. I'm going to help you define high volume for the names I'm watching in the morning. I promise you, it's the most obvious bullshit you've ever seen in your life. I promise you that. And you might not know. Mark, I'm new to this. It's not obvious. I respect that. I'm going to make it easy for you. I'm going to rate it for you. Excuse my language. This back pain is like not my favorite thing in the world. All right. So, breaks through. This is where I was looking to buy on a J and J. I actually ended up buying on the third arrow. The truth is, because it was so close to the trigger, generally I want to buy on the second or first arrow, like right around there. You get it? Now, let's take the next scenario. And then I'm going to answer questions in the room. I can't answer questions on YouTube because I don't see your questions. Okay, so let's take the next symbol. Let's take Best Buy and how I would treat that. So Best Buy did not have the volume. Generally on Best Buy, I'm looking to buy around there. And and this will be Best Buy's arrow. So in a name like Best Buy, I would look to buy on these brown arrows here, either at 50, it should be exactly at 50 or a little ahead of 50 is fine. That's where I'm generally looking to buy Best Buy. And the reasons and the magical and the reasons, volume dictates entry timing. Volume dictates entry timing. Do you guys understand? I'm going to take questions from the room and hopefully we'll answer your questions right now. Do you guys get that? I'm going to tell you where my volume conviction is. Again, I don't have eventually I'm sure I'll get a rating system, a mathematical system for it. I would need some system that gave me average pre-market volume. But do you guys understand that? Yes, Raheem. So the pre-market volume would dictate where you want to enter on the one and done. So for example, if your entry on the one and done was $50 on stock XYZ, whatever, J&J, Best Buy, I know they don't trade at 50 bucks. On Johnson and Johnson, because the volume was so elevated in the pre-market, you could have assumed that the volume in the intraday was going to be extremely high, which it was. I mean, looking at what Johnson and Johnson's volume today, you did 36.4 million shares in Johnson and Johnson. How many names did 36.4 million shares, right? Now, granted, the Qs did more and Bank of America did more, but you know, Apple did about slightly more than that. Apple, and this is Johnson and Johnson. So comparatively, look how much elevated volume there was in Johnson and Johnson. What I'm telling you is I couldn't have probably predicted we'd do 36.4 million, but I could have just short of guaranteed you that this volume bar was going to tower over the prior candlestick volume bars in J&J. And for that reason, we go back to our chart. And this is how you do it, or this is how I do it, or should be doing it. I don't always do it like this, but this is what I will be doing it like. So in the case of Johnson and Johnson, by the time I'm telling you I'm telling you in real time. You're hearing it less than a second late. If you have a normal internet connection that's not like stupid and lagged, like you will hear it less than half a second after my position is open because as my order is going through Schwab automatically, I'm saying I'm buying it. I don't hit the button, see the position on my screen, and then turn around and say I bought it. I try to get it to you faster. So my finger's on the buy button. I'm like, I bought it here, and then I look up to confirm that what I told you was true, which it obviously always is, unless like it didn't fill me for some rare whatever internet stupid issue. And then I'll be like, oh no, I wasn't filled, even though I wish I was. That's usually how it sounds like. But questions? You didn't understand the different arrows for J&J and BBY? Be more specific. So the beginning, the left side of the arrow is where the stock is. So let's say it's 49.50. Let's say Best Buy, let's say Johnson and Johnson is at 49.50 and your one and done triggers at $50. I use simple numbers to explain it. What I'm saying is as the stock is moving towards that $50 level here, you're looking to buy in your position in Johnson and Johnson on one of these three bottom blue arrows. The Best Buy I denoted by the brown arrow since the Best Buy since Best so let's say Best Buy was at 49.50 with the trigger at 50. Since Best Buy had lower volume for me to get involved in that, Lee, I would want to get involved at $50 or slightly after as opposed to being much earlier. Does that make sense? I can't use an example on a regular chart, Seth, because I don't have the level 2 on my regular chart. I don't have the level 2 of where the stock was trading to show you where the bid and offer is. I'm assuming the number you see is the offer. I could show you the regular chart. So Miriam is asking, well, how did you get the trigger for J&J? Watch the one and done video again, Miriam. I just used the first 1 minute bar break. So the 1 minute bar low here, 128.26. Oh, right over here, it actually blipped 128 and a quarter. I just realized it broke it by a penny, but the offer didn't come in. I actually didn't short it there, and you actually got an elevation of volume. Funny, I actually shorted it right over here. So I was basically using the bottom of the 1 minute bars. Other than that 1 cent, I guess, bank error in my favor or our favor that I made in J&J. I used the level 2 and it helped you enter. You caught J&J in it. Exactly, Danny. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to explain you how the level 2 is moving or how the stock is moving as you enter. You see, so Speedy's asking, what about unexpected moves? Like, so for example, I was looking for a short in Best Buy today and it ended up being a long. I would rather miss that trade. You see, I don't look at a trade and say, how do I capitalize on this on the flip side if it doesn't go down? I don't think like that. Why? A, you're not going to be consistent. You will not consistently make money. Show me the track record, show me the trades, and I'll prove it wrong on any news flow name all the time. That's one. So you will be inconsistent. Two, instead of actually trying to find it long when you're actually looking for a short, which actually would have worked in Best Buy. You're right, it would have worked if you went long in Best Buy, right? This was a name. But the problem is if you lost money going long on Best Buy, the psychological toxicity that you would have suffered would have been massive, where it wasn't that it wasn't worth the trading risk, it wasn't worth the psychological risk. The last thing you want to do is go against the grain on news flow on a downgrade and go long, for example, like in Best Buy, lose money and you're going to screw your brain up completely. Did you understand that, Lee, on the arrows? No, Art, that is not actually what I do. So I assume that the first 1 minute bar that was going to break down in Johnson and Johnson was going to be massive volume because there was high pre-market volume. There was massive pre-market volume. So I knew ahead of time that the first 1 minute bar that broke would have had massive volume comparatively even to the other candles on the name. So excuse me, let's take a look at that again. So actually, ironically, it blipped by a penny. Either it was a stupid print or something. There was no 128.26 offer here. So it blipped right here. So even on the second 1 minute bar, you notice there was a volume elevation. And then when you were ready to go the next time down, you notice there was 50% more volume on this candle between 934 and 935 than 933 and 934. So for clarity, no, you know that answer before the stock even opens for the day. Why did I use Schwab? What about Robinhood? All right, Kareem, I have a lot of accounts, a lot of trading accounts. My Robinhood account is a strictly overnight account that I use for charitable causes. My trading account is what I use for my money. Robinhood is not a conducive software for intraday trading. In fact, Robinhood is maybe the crappiest platform in existence. Maybe it's competing with Tasty Trade. Tasty Trade might be worse. But it's up there, or down there, rather. And I hear you. It's very difficult to do a one and done strategy on Robinhood. You have to set up the trade and you have to get ready and then you have to enter and then you have to wait for No, that is not a professional trading platform. You can do the intraday resistance and support levels that we show you on Robinhood. You can do all the overnights we show you on Robinhood. You can't do one and done trades on Robinhood effectively, consistently. You'll just have too much of a delay. What was my thing? Well, yes, because even though Johnson and Johnson wasn't one of my Newsbeat plays, it was on my radar to apply the same strategies, as obvious by the tweet and me talking about it this morning. So I looked at the Best Buy puts, which I was focused on initially, and said, this isn't going to be playable. So I simply at that point decided, okay, Eric, I'm going to go for Johnson and Johnson. That is correctly. So the higher volume in the pre-market justifies the front running of the entry price. Perfectly said. Well played, Danny. See, that's what I have to figure out. I don't have the mathematical formula as previously stated, Alejandro, but I will tell you what I consider high and extremely high volume. J&J today was extremely high in the pre-market, and in the future I'll be saying that. Yeah, I hope everyone's using the level 2. If you have Robinhood, you're not using the level 2, but I mean most professional traders have a level 2. Yeah, I watched Best Buy and Pass too. All right, JW. Again, in terms of my example, we're pretending that it was a long in Johnson and Johnson. Yes. As the stock is approaching your trigger, I was looking to short it. This is just using a graph to show you an example. Correct. You could reverse the numbers on top if you want and put the $50 all the way to the left and the lower numbers to the right. No, I wouldn't have considered going long. I was looking at, I said it earlier, I was considering J&J for a long today, depending on the setup. I never saw a setup I liked for a long, even though Johnson and Johnson ended up bouncing and having a nice 5 minute bottom and bouncing up before heading down. And I see what it did in hindsight. Utilizing my methodology, I wasn't going to catch a long in J&J today. Do you guys get it now? Any more questions? So when you're trading these one and done names, regardless of the name you pick, I can't show how to use the level 2 right now because the market is closed and I'm not going to do a full demonstrate. I don't have access to a level 2 right now that's worth anything. And granted, I guess the market just closed at 8 o'clock. We could maybe do that another day during the market while it's open rolling. That's funny. So what I do when I trade on Robinhood is I'm looking at the level 2 on another software and then making the trade on the side with Robinhood. Yes, Eric, and I'll always hunt through for other names throughout the day. Absolutely. And I'll always give you a heads up of what I'm watching. Hence, for three minutes I was like, guys, I'm watching J&J puts. Guys, I'm watching J&J puts. All right, market's going this is guys, I'm watching J&J puts. So like well, it didn't come out of left field where it's like, oh my God, he's trading J&J. Exactly, Kevin. So, all right. How about our levels? We caught a really nice short today in Netflix. Let's share with you tomorrow's levels today. I don't want to go through our successful algo trades today. I think they're pretty apparent if you are watching them, and definitely take a look at them. But here are our algo trades. Patrick, you love how we focused on Netflix today. We nailed it. Could have capitalized way better, but it's a start. Amen. Yeah. I mean, we were shorting Netflix right by the day high, right by the dead high of Netflix using our algo level. Here's tomorrow's algo levels. Don't tattoo them, just take a screenshot, picture of your phone. These are tomorrow's levels. Today, Captain Foresight, here to serve. Game plan name of the day. Where is that? I'm watch. I don't know if I'm gonna trade it tomorrow, but it is my game plan name is Riot. Stupid little Bitcoin stock popped today. I'm looking for a follow through from $1.85. It got as high as 210 in the pre-market, dropped to $1.90. Maybe Riot moves tomorrow. Definitely keeping that one on the radar. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we go into our full stock analysis. There's a reason why consistent algorithmic technical traders feel that the Newsbeat live room is the largest, fastest growing trading room in the nation. Happy trading, make money. I'll see you guys next time on the Newsbeat live trading broadcast. Have a soundless, musicless, wonderful evening.